Now that we have a few moving averages up here, let's look at how we would use these inside a Forex trading system. Now, just to warn you immediately, we would never actually trade a Forex system that does not have some kind of confirmation. So I'm purely going to show you how we were going to use these moving averages to look for possible entry points. It's not a complete system on its own, we're working towards that. But I want you to see and understand how these things can help you. The vast majority of systems out there that use 2 or more moving averages would be what we call crossover systems. This is where we are looking for moving averages to cross over. I bet you guessed that already. And some of you may have noticed a few good points over here that's already happened. What we're looking for in the original strategy is we're looking for points where the red crosses the blue. That's the 5 moving average crossing the 10 moving average. And we trade in direction of the smaller one, which in this case is the red one. So this would be a buy signal here. This is telling us that the market has come down, which is why the red is lower than the blue. And now it crosses over, so it's time to look at a buy. When the red crosses the blue again, it's coming down, and this would be a sell signal. This quite simply is how crossover systems work. They don't work that well on their own, and you'll see very often, like in this mess over here, you would have lost that trade, and then it would have been profits after 2 losing trades. And these small movements here, that unfortunately would not have worked. You would have lost that, sell. This buy would have done actually quite well. That would have been nice to have. This sell would have been a small profit, and then a big fat profit. So this unfortunately looks too good. You don't always get such wonderful crossovers happening. Let's look for a place where, oh, that would have been quite good as well, actually. Like this dirty piece over here. Here you would have thought the market is turning, so we could go for a buy, but it never really got very high, and you would have lost. And then here on the sell, you would have lost. And then if you were being very strict and taking that as a crossover, you would have bought and lost, and then the sell did finally work out for you. So that could have been 1, 2, 3 potential losses all in a row. This does happen. I know you might be looking at the screen now thinking, oh, look at all that money. But before you start betting the farm, make sure you are prepared for these horrible moments here. And we will discuss how to get through those. So what we need to do is, if you look at how the Forex market very often moves, let me go ahead and zoom out here. You'll see that it's never smooth. It's never a direct line that comes straight up. We always have these sort of where it goes up and then comes down a little bit, then goes up quite a bit and comes down a little bit. And this is what we would call the trend. This area across here we can see is quite clearly a bullish trend, or it's a long trend, or an upwards trend. And if we know that we are in a bullish trend, then you would only be looking for buy signals in the crossover. If you're trying to sell, i.e. go against the trend, you're increasing your chance of losing, and you are decreasing the potential profit you could be making. So yes, you could trade, and you could possibly make a bit of money trading against the trend, but you are stacking the odds against your favor. This is why we very often like to trade with the trend. There's obviously no guarantee, but if there is a trend, you are statistically more likely to hit your take profit than your stop loss. And while every single trade in Forex is a guess, by following the trend, you're increasing your likelihood of winning. And that is what we are looking for in Forex trading. So in the example of this area here, if we knew that we are moving up, which we definitely would have by looking at the other history, we would not be trading these short positions. We would be sticking to the buy positions. So we'd be trading up and profiting. We would not trade. Then we'd trade up. We wouldn't trade the short. We'd then trade the long. We wouldn't trade the shorts. Then we trade the long. I don't really need to keep doing this, do I? The only time this really starts falling flat is when the market does change direction. We can only pick that up a little bit later. So your system will fall flat and you will stop making money when the market is shifting direction completely. But as soon as we've confirmed that the market has changed direction, then we can carry on making money the other way around. Now, there are a few ways to help determine the direction of the market. I'm going to show you the simplest one that involves another moving average, and it involves this moving average, the black MA50 that we have. When the market and the moving averages, the smaller ones, are above the MA50, then we are looking at a bullish market. When it moves below, then we start looking at a bearish market. Now, to confirm that it is bearish, we want to see the moving average start coming down in direction. So at this point here, we saw that the market had come and had broken underneath here, but the MA50 was still traveling upwards. So this would be undecided. We would not be placing trades at this point because we have one thing telling us the market's coming down and something else telling us it hasn't come down quite yet. So here we would not be trading. When it breaks this point here, we would consider a buy because it's not coming down quite yet, or it's leveling out. So we might only jump into this trade quite a bit late once we see that the moving average has confirmed it's coming up. At this point here, we can see that the market and the moving averages have come below the MA50 and the MA50 is tilting down. So from this point, we would be looking for sells. So we need two things of the MA50. We need to look at where is the market in relation to it. When it's above the line, we're looking for buys. When it's below the line, we're looking for sells. And we're looking at the direction of the MA50. If it's drawing in a downwards motion, we're selling. If it's drawing in an upwards motion, we're buying. And they both need to confirm. So like we had in this position here, where we saw this would be telling us to sell, but the MA50 is still pointing up. They're disagreeing with each other, so no trade.